It has been a year of trials for us all. Tonight, I wish to remind each of you that Rapture is your city. It was your strength of will that brought you here, and with that strength, you shall rebuild. And so, Andrew Ryan offers you a toast. To Rapture.
Hello, it's Dave from Daveyverse, and I'm bringing you some shit introductions, because I've got a message for you. Is a man entitled to the sweat of his brow? We'll find out when I release BioShock. Wait, I don't know why I did all that. I need a life. Wait, so I'm bringing you BioShock because director Francis Lawrence is hoping to break the video game curse. I'm not going to lie, I've did this once and I forgot that I forgot my microphone was on. So yeah, that's fantastic. Wait, sigh over. Let's get into it. At long last, they're getting the real BioShock film at Netflix. So Netflix has basically now got the rights to BioShock as well as several other franchises, with them losing a lot of content with their Fox Disney mergers, their Paramount Plus starting their own, their HBO starting their own. Netflix have basically lost a lot of content, so they're now starting to make their own. We'll see how it goes. They're buying a lot of franchises, well, the rights to them anyway. I'm really hoping that BioShock does come out. Little spoiler for the end, that Francis Lawrence is hoping to make a faithful adaptation, which I'm going to hold him to it if I can whatsoever. I'll make a video for the trailers whenever shit comes out, because BioShock was my first horror game I ever played, and it got us into the genre, so it holds a special place within my heart. Wait, where was I? At long last, things are getting real for BioShock. Happy days! After failed attempts to bring video game masterpiece to the silver screen, the streaming service Netflix is now moving full speed ahead, and they're working on a project with the Hunger Games director Francis Lawrence. That name might ring a bell for people that watch Constantine, or that the Will Smith I Am Legend. He's also Hunger Games, obviously, and he's got a new film coming out, Slumberland. I've not heard much about it, but I know it's based on a book. We'll have to see how it goes. But the script for the film lies in capable hands with the Blade Runner 2049 writer Michael Green. I like the original Blade Runner, pardon me. So with some luck, that they can both pull their fingers out and give us a realistic BioShock. Because tell me, I don't know how they'll do it. I'm hoping practical effect, but a realistic Big Daddy would be epic. Okay. Well, Michael Green, who wrote Blade, so he's just bigging his friend up. He's writing it, and he's in the middle of writing it now. We've already had our takes, outlines, and all kinds of stuff, and so that's all done. So it reads like he's saying that pretty much all they need to do now is write the script. They've got the storyline planned. They've got from how they get from A to Z, hitting B, A, Z, D, F, A, K, Y, W. You know the score. Scriptwriter is in one piece of the puzzle, though the problem with video game movies is that they're often hard to translate. It's not that they're hard to translate, it's that we want a faithful adaptation, but anyone that comes to the project wants to put their own print with on it. So it's how do you find the balance? I believe the only realistic adaptation ever done was Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. He followed that book as much as he could, and it still wasn't good enough for the Tolkien Society. But for everyone else, it was what it was. But to be fair, I don't know how anyone is expected to reach the heights of Tolkien. Lord of the Rings is a true masterpiece, and I reckon it's one of them books that will transcend time. Okay, so normal interaction experience to medium based total observations. For games with very little story like Super Mario series, it's often required to take liberties where the source material. See, so if that, or the recent Sonic movie that came out, there was that sort of break where you can pretty much interject your own thing. For something like story rich as BioShock, that's going to be difficult to do, and I hope they don't interject modern times, because that's going to be some BS right there. So they can take liberties, so on and so forth. The franchise has moved between ruins underwater city of Rapture in the first two installments to the floating city of Columbus in BioShock Infinite. So if I had my take on it, I would go with Rapture. You could do either a prequel, the main storyline, or the sequel from BioShock 2. The prequel, you could sort of interject your own take onto it, where it's like, the ethics of doing the research in Rapture on the little sisters, the big daddies, they're getting the sea slugs, and then sort of getting the atom out of it. You could make the whole spiel, so you could argue toss there. And then when the city goes into downfall, and then you could lead on to the other seasons from there. See, if you do it like 3-4 seasons, you could pretty much do the whole Rapture arc. But that's just me. I doubt Netflix are paying that much. See, but Netflix have the issue of that they have to now create their own stuff, as they can't get stuff of pretty much Disney or Paramount or HBO. So they have to start funding this shit themselves. And seeing their stock prices, I don't know. I'm not a trader, but it looks bad. Okay, telling emotional complex tales of which it means to be in control, how American expansionism can turn into a fragile hellscape and hope to find in these terrifying worlds. American expansionism there. That's not the take I would take on it. It was more of a man seeking freedom in the first one. You didn't want the government, and I go back to the question: is a man entitled to the sweat of his brow? Okay. Lawrence feels BioShock can break the video game curse. So, in respite, Lawrence isn't lacking for confidence in come to adaptations of video games, as he's basically banking on the Hunger Games, where he reworked the novels into creating a franchise. And I mean, the Hunger Games he did good work on. Wasn't my cup of tea towards the end, but the first two, I would argue, are canny. Okay. Video game adaptations have also improved their track record of late, with the Sonic the Hedgehog. I mentioned before, you could take liberties with that. A lot of fan criticism came into that to begin with, and they had a lot to change. So I would give the round of applause to the fans there. The fandom stuck to their guns. We saw the trailer, we saw what Sonic looked like, and we weren't accepting it. And I'm glad that the studio also agreed. So films like Sonic finding success on the big screen, while The Witcher became one of Netflix's biggest properties. I wonder how long that's going to last. With Henry Cavill leaving, there's that petition, I think it's over 300k now, where they're basically roasting the showrunner, and they want to bring Henry Cavill back. So I wonder what next season brings, but that's not my concern. This is without mention over the upcoming adaptations like Ghost of Tsushima. I just found out that's getting done. I was like, Christ. And the Last of Us Part 2. Not Part 2, Last of Us. So used to seeing Part 2 because of the Wokfest. Read it. So I need to see how that goes. I'll hold a judgment. When asked what it was about BioShock that made him believe it would be the next great movie, he cites that the thoughtful nature of the games, as well as the gravitas in the premises of the weaving of the difficult ideas. So that's what I'm saying. You could do the Rapture arc. That would be the most ethical point, where it will actually rip and split the fan base and create the arguments of old. I miss them days where it wasn't just everything wasn't just explained to you, where you basically had to go into the fandom communities and argue the toss about every little thing. It was infuriating, but it was brilliant at the same time. Miss them days. Okay, some more quotes. Just filling his boots, basically, innit? Working with Netflix has also given Lawrence a sense of freedom that he believes that he will create a faithful BioShock film without studio influence. That there, to me, is why we should hold his feet to the fire. He pretty much outlines it that he's going to basically do it his way or the no way. And I really hope Netflix just gives him the pile of cash and says, make this for us, we'll be looking over here. He continues on talking about the discussion of Take-Two and Kevin Levin, the man largely responsible for developing the concept of BioShock. So at least he's in talks with the production of it and the creator of it. But that's pretty much where it goes. The rest is just fan servicing. He just basically bigs himself up there, and he just basically talks about the argument, the article trying to push it for more. Constantine 2 director Franz Lawrence revealed how Keanu Reeves. That's a different story altogether. Right then, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to BioShock. I'm actually hopeful for this one. I hope they keep the faith, that they're faithfully adapted, and Netflix pretty much only slaps their name riff on it and nothing else. But I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.